All right, hey there, guys. This is Haight's Wanderings. Hey there, ladies. Hey there, dudes. Hey there, wanderers, and all you special fine folks that are my subscribers. I appreciate all of you. You guys rock. I wanted to do a summer channel update. As you guys probably know, I have not been posting videos super regularly. I have been absolutely bananas busy. This summer has been unlike any other, and I've been on the water so very much. My channel is active. I'm still here. I just haven't had that content being put up. I'm filming. I'm out there exploring. I am doing all those things. I just haven't had time to post anything or to create anything and then post. But as we get into the colder weather, which is coming, unfortunately, eventually, I will be posting some of those videos. So I do have some content that I should be getting out sometime soon. I actually got a cool scouting video that's coming up. But that being said, I am still here. I am active. Don't worry. Just been uber busy. So far in July, I think I've been on the water 19 out of 23 days, I think. Maybe 19 out of 23, something like that. So that's busy. We have been on the river 41 days so far this year, or so far this spring/summer season, 41 days on the river. And I keep track of everything because I'm just crazy like that. And 311 hours. And so if you divide 41 by 3, or sorry, divide 311 by 41, it comes out to be like 7.5 hours each of those days averaged on the river. So a lot of time out there. If you guys can see, I got my raccoon eyes going on. I always wear my sunglasses. Got to wear those. I've been blasted by the sun. But that being said, it's been a great summer so far. We have had some really cool things happen, met some really cool people, fun adventures, doing this, doing that, all sorts of stuff. And that's kind of what the summer channel update's about, is I'm going to tell you guys what I've been doing, and I'm going to tell you about some of the kind of cool moments I've had on the water. I'll show you some of those pictures and video in the background so you guys can see stuff other than this. A couple of cool things. We caught a big tiger muskie earlier this year. I had these two great anglers from Pennsylvania that came out, and we went through a stretch of water, didn't catch any fish, and I knew there should be fish in there. So I said to the guys, I was like, hey, we have two options here. We can either head on down river, since we didn't catch anything, or we can try something a little bit stupid. And they were like, hey, we love the stupid idea. And I was like, great. So we decided to go back upriver through water we had just fished and decided to fish it again. So we started to head back upriver, and I told them, all right, guys, we're going to go up through the shallow water because I don't want to, disturb the main current, the main river channel. And they're like, yeah, great idea. So I said, don't worry about casting because there's no fish in here. But they were like, we want to fish. So I said, okay, cast it, whatever, do it. They start casting, and they get a bite and a follow. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there are fish back here in this super shallow water. I was not expecting it. And a couple moments later, we hooked into this nice tiger. And it was really fun. It was really cool. It was a special fish.
Oh, that's fish. There you go. Let's say, come on. Let's let that be a muskie. It's a tiger.
One of the nicest looking tigers I've seen in a long time, and the great part about it is my expectations were there'd be no fish in there, and boom, there were. So I guess, when you're out there fishing, don't always just have these preconceived notions about where and what fish are doing. Sometimes they will absolutely surprise you, and that's some of the fun of fishing, right? Another great moment that we had just a couple days ago. We were trying to get this right here out of the boat, It was 30 minutes into the day, and the skunk was still on us. And I said, hey, I looked over, I saw this like great shaded patch. There's some wood. And I was like, hey, one of the two of you, and I was speaking to both the guys, one of the two of you is going to catch a fish right there in that shaded patch. So the guy in the front casts up with top water, reeling it back, reeling it back. We look behind it, nice musky following, flares open, claps the top water. We get it a fish in the boat. It actually broke the hook entirely, completely ripped and broke the hook, which was, I mean, pretty crazy when those fish do that. But great looking fish, and I have a video right here holding that fish up, and that was the skunk off that day, was catching that big fish.
Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna set this fish in the water.
And it was completely incidental. We weren't targeting musky. We were targeting smallmouth, maybe, whatever would bite. And those are some of the most fun moments of fishing, is when something crazy, unexpected happens. Crazy unexpected. So some other fun things that were happened in the last, couple of weeks, couple of months, whatever. We were casting topwater the other day and get a bite, nice topwater bite, big active fish. Get it into the boat, and as it comes in, we see like this like gray slug looking thing coming out of its mouth, just kind of limp hanging out of its mouth. And the guy I was with said, oh, I think that might be a leech. And I was like, I don't know. It looked like it had muscle on it, like muscle striations. And I was like, that's kind of weird. So get it up, take the hook out, and grab the piece of flesh coming out of this fish's mouth with my pliers, and I look at it, and there are scales, greenish blue scales up its, like the bottom of it. It's a snake. This 15-inch fish had I think a longer than 15-inch snake inside of it. And so I took the snake and I pushed it back down the fish's mouth, and then I let it go. Hopefully it got a good meal in out of that. It was just really interesting. Something completely unexpected, which, smallmouth eating snakes. I mean, we don't even have that many snakes in the UP. We have a couple, but just weird, right? Another thing happened the other day. We had a hole-in-one rare event. So when people go golfing, right, the hole-in-one is like this once-in-a-lifetime, feat, right? Well, we had that happen the other day for us, and it was a 2 fish on 1 lure. A smallmouth and a pike each hit 1 treble on a topwater lure. They hit it at the same time. They came up, blasted it. We were reeling it in, and we were like, what is going on? Because the lure and the line was just, it wasn't like a single fish. And as we got closer, it started to make sense. It's because it wasn't a single fish. It was 2 fish fighting and competing for this lure, and got them both in the net. And I was just like blown away. Like, this doesn't happen. I've never in my life seen that. Super rare. I'm on the water so much, and things like that still surprise me. They just blew my mind. So the other day, another, this is for channel update. This is the best missed fish of the year so far. So the other day we're going down a river, and it's not really a river. It's more of like a stream or a creek. I watch other YouTubers that post videos, and they're like, fishing a tiny river, right? And the river is usually like 100 or 200 yards wide, and they consider that a tiny river. Well, we were actually on a tiny river. Be thinking 1 foot of depth, super clear water, and like 25 yards wide. Super small. And it was the end of a day, a long day, and we were a couple hundred yards from the takeout, and we'd only caught 5 fish that day. And I said to the guys, like, hey, keep the faith. There are still fish in here. And one of the guys had actually made the comment of, well, from how today is gone, I don't have much confidence that we're going to get a fish in the next, 200 yards. And I said, you know what? Things can surprise you, right? 1 fish is all it takes for a slow day to go to the best day of your life. And so we're going on down, and the guy casts, and he gets into a tree or a tag alder, and he kind of jiggles out his little small profile. It was a Minnow Z paddle tail by Z Man, so it's like 3 inches on a weedless swim jig style head. So we're fishing for smallmouth, and he's bringing it back in, and we look behind, and there's a giant specimen of a muskie that just follows up. And I tell him, I was like, make it move. So he kind of gives it a little twitch, and the fish flares open, completely engulfs the lure. He sets on the fish. He sets back hard. He feels weight, so like the hook is actually in there. And like a second later, the hook just goes pew out of the fish's mouth. It turns and splashes, and it's gone. But we lost that fish. That being said, it was a true behemoth of a fish, a Goliath, I'm trying to think of other large words. It was the pinnacle of a fish in that system. I'm thinking 45 to 50 inches, possibly 45 to 50-inch fish, a giant. Now, people catch 50-inch muskies all the time in places where there are 50-inch muskies. In this tiny river system, this creek, stream, whatever you want to call it, that fish was otherworldly, just out of this world. And I always think about perspective, right? When you catch a 50-inch fish in Lake St. Clair, like, that's a cool fish. It's awesome. It's a great fish, but it's not unheard of. When you catch a 20-inch smallmouth in Big Bay de Noc, it's not unheard of. It's a good fish, but it's not unheard of. Now, when you catch something like that in a tiny river system, that might be literally the only fish of that caliber anywhere. And so it makes it like, it changes your perspective a little bit when you think about that. It was very, very cool. We lost the fish. We didn't get it in, but just seeing the bite, just seeing the strike, it turned the 5-fish day into a, oh my gosh, this was an amazing trip. Just seeing that fish. And that would have actually been the second muskie of the day. We had actually already hooked in and caught one earlier up. So, and I'll show you a little video right here. This is a cool underwater shot of that fish. So I'm just kind of sharing some videos and some photos here and different things with you guys. So far this year, we've been scouting a lot. We've been doing new water. We've been doing some old water, but conditions have been really weird. We've been have temperature spikes. We've been in a drought. We had a high water at one point, but right now the waters are as low as I've ever seen them. It's supposed to be raining today, but it's not. So that's kind of typical for right now. Waters are so low that you can't even get my raft, which has like 2 or 3 inches of draft. It can't get through. What do you do when you can't get through the rivers? I don't know. You got to go to much larger systems, and then it changes the fishing drastically. Just how you fish. I love going and trying those new places, but it's different. It's difficult. Anytime you go somewhere new, that sense of exploration, adventure, discovery, it's there, which is great. But you don't know. You don't really kind of have that. What's the word for it? You don't really know what to expect. So it's fun, but at the same time, it's a little bit, nerve-wracking, because when you're going there with other people and they want to catch fish, it's like, well, the water levels are so low, we kind of have to go to new places right now. But that's okay. That's okay. For my summer channel update right now, I'm just really excited about how things have been going. Other than the low water, everything has been great, pretty much. We've had really good year. One day we did have a day that we caught 85 fish. That was great. And one day we had a day where we only caught 2 fish, which wasn't so great. But every day is different on the water, and you never really know what's going to happen. So don't get discouraged when you guys go out there and get skunked. Don't get discouraged. You know, it happens to everyone. Everyone gets skunked. Everyone has bad days on the water. It's just part of fishing right there. It's part of that emotional roller coaster that is fishing. Some days are great, some days are slow. Some mornings you catch 40 fish, and in the afternoon you catch 0. It's just kind of how it goes, and that's okay. I always tell people the first goal of the day is not to go out and smash 50 fish. The first goal of the day, every single time, is to go out and catch one fish. One fish. And once you catch one fish, then you can consider trying to catch another fish. But it's always getting that first fish in the boat. That's important. If you're like smallmouth fishing. If you're musky fishing, well, one fish might be the actual day. So who knows, right? I hope you guys, like I said, are enjoying your summers and enjoying the fishing wherever you are in the world, or the U.S. or wherever. And I want to encourage you guys to leave comments down below. I haven't had much interaction on the channel recently because I haven't posted much, but I'd be really interested in hearing from you guys. What has been your most memorable moment of this season so far, this fishing season? Have you had any great catches, or maybe missed fish, or anything just crazy happen out there on the water? Let me know. I'd be interested to look at those. Just because I enjoy interacting with you guys. You know, this is a small YouTube channel, and it's cool to have, you know, a connection, you know, from me to the subscribers. So let me know. I think it's really fun. All right, guys, without further ado, I think that's it for the summer update. Be looking in the next week or two. I should hopefully have a scouting video that I'm putting up. And leave a comment, and as always, catch, release, wander. I will see you guys in the next video.